Alright, Schlockmeisters fans, we're going to finish off the Code Red Vintage 35mm presentation Blu-ray here with Mama's Dirty Girls. Let's check it out. The movie starts out with Candice Realson admiring her boobs in a mirror and then putting on her swimming suit top. This is Becky's stepfather, George.
Damn little tease.
What's the matter? Afraid you won't be able to keep your hands off me? Or are you just afraid Mama will catch you?
He can't resist her.
What are you doing, George?
Nothing.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Mama told you not to play with us girls.
Yeah, well, Mama ain't home and I don't see you pulling away.
It's not my fault.
You've been teasing and tormenting me for over a year. Ever since the first day I married your mama. Yes!
Eventually, he jumps on top of her.
Come on, don't fight me! Mama, I didn't
Busted.
expect you.
I warned you to leave my girls alone.
I couldn't help myself, Mama or Maddie. He gets
Drunk. You're disgusting.
Academy Award winner Gloria Graham.
He hurt you, baby? No, Mommy, you came just in time and he was gonna rape me. Your old girl.
She forces him to sign a confession.
With the humiliating exposure of my ex, I realize I can't go on.
Later on, they're gonna kill him. Mama and her 3 daughters. Mama's a black widow, but turns out George had no money.
And I thought he owned the house. Here he was, renting it all the time. Well, what are we going to do, Mama? You heard what the lawyer said. There's just barely enough money in the estate to pay the debts.
It's not much of a town.
They decide to hit the road and go north.
There's no health resort down the road. They rent rooms.
Thanks, officer.
Collins. Roy Collins. I'm the law in this part of the county.
Addie is taking a fancy to Roy, but Roy's married.
Hasn't been closed.
They stop at a hotel.
Now, don't you worry.
And they meet
about
Harold,
me.
a recent widower.
I'm not exactly a poor man myself.
Really?
You see, I own all this lovely land.
Oh, a man of property. At the motel?
Other daughter, Cindy,
I
meets
work at the
Paul.
hardware store with my father.
Takes a fancy to him.
Are you gonna stay around here?
Well, I guess so. Every day I keep thinking Mommy's gonna want to leave.
You do?
Becky meets a dopey guy named Willie.
Well, I mean, you're so strong and big and everything.
Well, I didn't even think you noticed me at all.
Notice you? Well, for the past week I haven't been able to keep my eyes on.
It's
Turned out
about
that,
your dear departed wife.
Harold may have killed his wife.
I saw her drown.
Coroner ruled it an accident. The sheriff thinks he did it, though. And this guy saw it happen.
I saw you out on the lake that day in a rowboat. And I guess she got tired and tried to get into the boat. And I saw you push her under with the oar. Hell,
He wants to blackmail Harold.
No, I'll take anything you can give me.
Apparently he didn't notice that Harold the killer was holding an axe.
All right, you going up to the house. You got a deal.
Turns out Harold's wife had some jewels that nobody could find. But Harold has them in a cigar box. Keeps it in the shed. So Mama and Harold get married. They both will each other's stuff to each other. And then they both want to try to off the other. Because they're both killers. First attempt, Harold. Failed. Second attempt goes to Mama. Failed. Meanwhile, Becky is trying to seduce Willie again. She keeps teasing him with promises of intercourse, which she never follows through with. Of course, I don't know what she attempts to get from him, because I don't think Willie has anything to offer. Willie tries, though.
Not now. Next time, okay? I promise.
Next time? You promise?
Yeah, Willie, I promise.
So you see, Mrs. Collins, what it all boils down to is that Roy and I are in love.
Addie meets with Roy's wife.
Except I'm not joking.
You think you're the first country slut to fall for Roy?
No, I reckon you were.
You'd better leave before Roy gets home.
Roy wants to marry me.
Addie has a plan for Mrs. Collins. That's a knife. Mama was going to try to electrocute Harold. Then she saw Cindy playing with the cords. Close call. Hi, Mama. I'll just walk over here.
You killed her with it.
He knows she killed his wife.
Nobody has to know.
It was with Paul's knife, though.
You think just because I found Paul's knife, he's going to be convicted?
She wants him
What
to
if he's got an alibi?
frame him.
What if he says he lost his knife?
Paul's freaking out now.
I'm in trouble. Big trouble. Sheriff's looking for me. He thinks I killed his wife.
Why does he suspect you?
Because my knife was the murder weapon. Right, Jenny.
Paul sleeps in the shed and finds the
Not a
jewels.
suspicion on him about her death.
He thinks Mama's rich. They've even traded wills.
That's how he got this place. She left it to him in her will.
Do you think he killed her?
Cindy goes and tells Mama about what she
In
found.
Harold's shed. Mama, Harold murdered his wife. Harold? Why, Harold could no more murder anybody than I could. He drowned her to get this motel and these jewels. And now you're next. Me? He thinks you're rich. You willed him your estate. You know, I've been having some funny accidents lately.
You? I'd rather make love to a monkey. At least I'd have some fun with them.
Only thought he was going to get laid today. Instead, he ended up breaking her neck and killing her. Oops. Anyway, things come to a head, and Harold grabs Cindy and the cigar box of jewels, and he kidnaps her and gets away.
Hey, drop that gun! Put that gun down or you're kill it! Put it down!
Be no trial and no alibi.
Addie wants Roy to help her kill.
Kill him, Roy? You gotta make a decision now. Then we'll always have each other.
He knows that Harold has kidnapped
Just do
her
your
sister
duty
too.
and kill that fugitive.
Anyway, Harold drove off with the kidnapped Cindy in the car. He decides to leave her, which gives her the perfect opportunity to escape. Damn, I shouldn't have left the car.
You know I didn't kill her.
Roy is about to shoot Paul.
Please. Don't.
And he won't do it. Mama somehow tracks Harold down.
Wait! Cindy! Where have you been to Cindy?
I cut out her tongue and I left her for dead!
He's gone maniacal. There goes Mama. And there goes Harold. They got each other.
Yeah, and you know just how to play on that weakness.
Roy comes back to the house to Addie.
You got a real talent, Addie.
It runs in the family.
This is the end of Addie. A little late, but arrested for murder. Addie goes off to jail, leaves Cindy and Paul. They drive off into the sunset in their blue station wagon. Alright, just got done watching Mama's Dirty Girls. Quite a film. This 1974, starring Gloria Graham, who, believe it or not, is an Academy Award winner. She won Best Supporting Actress for, I think it's called The Bad and the Beautiful, or The Big and the Bad and the Beautiful. I don't know, something like that. 1952. Also stars Candice Rialson, Candy. You may remember her from Hollywood Boulevard, or I think it was the first Student Nurses movie, and Chatterbox. Actually, it was Candy Stripe Nurses. And of course, Chatterbox, the Talking Vagina movie. Best Talking Vagina movie ever. Anyway, our movie here, we have three 20-something girls. They're supposed to be teenagers, whatever. And they're living with their mama, played by Gloria Graham. She plays Mama Love. We don't know what her first name is, but their last name is Love. She goes by Mama, Mama Love. We have Cindy, Addie, and Cindy, Addie, and Becky, Candy Ralston. So Mama's plan is to marry eligible men, and then eventually they're going to kill the man, she and her daughters, and then they inherit whatever he's got, and that's her plan. She's kind of like a black widow, I guess. So anyway, they kill the first husband, Harold, and turns out he has almost nothing. You'd think after a year of marriage she would have known this, but whatever. Then they move on to this guy, I'm sorry, it wasn't Harold, George was the first guy. Then they move on to Harold, who owns a hotel. Turns out Harold actually lost his wife recently. He killed her for her money. So we have two black widows here, Mama and Harold. You know they got to get together, and they do. They get married. Meanwhile, Becky keeps teasing this guy, Willie. Addie is going after the local sheriff, Roy, who's married. And Cindy is going after this guy, Paul. So anyway, there's a lot of convoluted stuff going on here. Turns out Addie ends up killing Roy's wife, Charity. And then Roy decides that he's going to kill Paul or frame Paul for the murder, even though he's a cop, and he's been after Harold, trying to find a way to pin Harold's wife's murder on him. And it's just all over the place, and we end up in a ravine or something at the end, and Harold ends up running over his wife, killing her. Then he runs off a cliff with his car, and he burns in a fire. Becky is killed by Willie because she refuses to give up the goodies to him. And then we're left with Addie and Cindy, and Addie eventually gets arrested because the guy she was cheating on, the cop, Roy, refused to go along with Addie's plan to kill Paul, and she instead got arrested from Roy. And the movie ends with Cindy and Paul driving off with a station wagon. Now, if I think correctly here, since Harold died, everything should have been left to his wife, Mama. But Mama's dead, so you'd think everything would have been left to the daughters. Now, one of the daughters is dead. One of them is going to prison for murder. So we're left with Cindy. And Cindy's going to be with Paul. You'd think they'd inherit everything, right? The hotel and the jewels and whatever else. I don't know. They just ran off in a station wagon at the end. Anyway, Mama's Dirty Girls. This was actually a really fun movie. It's just a dirty relic from 1974. Code Red didn't clean up the print at all in this one. In fact, there's scratches throughout the movie. There's actually about a 5-minute section in the middle where there's a really bad hum, where it's very hard to hear the dialogue. It's brief, but it's there. But the scratches are pretty much throughout the film. But again, I don't fault Code Red because they didn't clean it up. They didn't want to, I guess. So be it, right? It's the only way you're going to get this movie, and at least it's saved on a Blu-ray for the rest of our lives now, right? So we can always watch Mommy's Dirty Girls again. Several nude scenes in this movie, so that's good. and just cheap 70s sleaze here, but it's fun. This is a really cool, fun movie. Definitely recommend it. It's called Mama's Dirty Girls. I want you to go watch this movie. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. We'll talk about it. Mama's Dirty Girls. Watch it. Bye.